rock and roll.
Yeah. We're ready to rock and roll, Mr. J.
Ready?
We are live
Yeah.
from the 305.
No, stop saying that. We're the 561,
Sorry,
man.
wrong
We are
county.
live from the 561.
Right. Miami is 305. What else is up? 305, 786.
I'm not familiar because I'm relatively new to the area, but
Yeah.
all I know is Mr. 305. That's it. That's it, dude.
So we're 561. Yeah, we're 561.
But long story short, this is the We're Not Famous with Sam and Jernavis podcast.
And we have someone special here today.
Someone spectacular.
Thank you. Special.
Desiree Handal.
Yes, sir. Desiree Handal.
Beautiful, beautiful. What is
Yeah.
the origin of that name?
I'm Palestinian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I could.
You can see a little bit of that? Yeah.
What do you get sometimes? What do people think that you are?
Everybody thinks I'm a white girl, to be honest with you. Most people just think I'm like from New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Sam,
yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah, yeah. We're in. Are you? But you grew up here in the States, or you grew up? Or where'd you grow up?
Where did I? Okay, so I was born in La Paz, Bolivia. So I'm right. Yeah, I'm a native of Bolivia.
Okay.
But then, by the time I was like 5, I think we left. We moved to Colombia. My mother remarried the man who was building the American embassy in Bolivia.
Wow.
So
Okay.
just on the basis of his career, it took us a lot of different places. So I spent the majority of my childhood in Pleasanton, California. Yeah. Are you from California?
I lived in California, but I'm not from there. Where's Pleasanton?
That's north. That's East Bay.
East Bay. I
East
know
Bay.
what it is.
Yeah.
Bay,
Yeah.
Oakland
It's like
area.
45 minutes east of San Francisco, baby.
Yeah, very familiar with it. Yep.
You've
I
been
do business out there.
Okay.
Contracts with Oakland,
Yep.
San Diego Unified School District. Yeah.
That's so sick.
Very familiar.
You know how like when you're driving into San Francisco and you see like on the bay just like all those giant rigs, so much of that stuff inspired a lot of the characters in Star Wars. Did you know about this?
Did not know that.
Like yeah, it's a little trivia for you, cause homeboy, what's his name that wrote Star Wars?
What's his name?
George Lucas.
George Lucas, and he's got like the Lucas Farms or whatever out there. And when I was living in San Francisco, right out of high school, so I actually went to boarding school for high school. I went to film school in Idlewild, California.
Okay, where's
Okay.
that at? You know what that is? Sam?
Idlewild. I've heard of it, but
South.
South. Is
Yeah.
that like by San Diego?
It's in the mountains. It's in the San Jacinto Hills.
Okay.
It's like this little high school that's like segregated from everywhere.
Okay.
But it's an art school, and I majored in film.
Okay.
And I ended up making a documentary about a local woman who had suffered a brain aneurysm. And most of the time, a brain aneurysm will render you completely useless.
Okay.
But this woman taught herself how to speak and read and write. And then she wrote a book. And then when she was like 70, she rode her bicycle across America promoting her book.
What?
Yeah.
This is real.
This is real. I made a documentary about this when I was a kid,
And
man.
how did you discover her?
Well, because she had a little publisher, and that was local to the town that I was going to school in. So we kind of got wind of the story, and I ran with it, and I just started following this lady around, and we put together this little thing, and I ended up winning the Audience Choice Awards at the Palm Springs International Film Festival when I was 18 years old.
18.
Yeah. So that was like my first sort of God nod to be like, oh wow, you're a storyteller.
Right.
You know?
And this is on YouTube. We can watch this later.
No. It's actually like I can probably call the homie that like co-produced it with me, but there's DVDs floating around somewhere. This is back in the day of DVDs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So you have any siblings at all?
Man, I have so many. Yeah. So I have. Wait, let's count, bro. Okay, there's 6 of us all together, so it's 5 girls and 1 boy.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I have like lots of mommies, lots of pappies.
Okay.
Both my parents are remarried,
Okay.
and then they went on to have. My father had 1 more daughter, and then my mother and stepfather had identical twins.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm like one of 3 original babies. The rest are fucking contraband as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're the OG purebloods. No, I'm kidding.
Oldest?
Yeah. So I have my eldest sister.
Okay.
And then an older brother, and then me. So we were the 3 from the original marriage.
Okay.
And then now I have 2 younger, 10 years younger and 12 years younger.
Crazy.
Little sisters that just
Babies. Yeah, they're young.
I mean, by now they're like, I'm 37, so they're 27.
Got it.
Those hoes ain't, I mean, yeah, for sure. But like,
So, hold on. This is interesting. So, in high school, all you did was like filmmaking, or did you play sports or anything?
Yeah. So, well, the thing is that whereas you would, if you had like split custody with your parents, you would go from one house to the next every week. I would do that on a yearly basis. I would switch countries. So I would live with my mother for a year, and then I would switch countries, and I would live with my father for a year. Okay. So I actually have been to like 9 different schools. Yeah.
You guys grew up alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you grew up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or you were traveling a lot?
Yeah, I'm from a broken household also.
Okay.
So it's very similar.
Yeah.
It's kind of like every other weekend I would go stay with my father.
Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
And I have a similar, so I'm in Florida now because I brought my son to be close to his father.
Oh, wow.
So I brought him here on a little silver platter, and we were living in Miami.
Okay.
But Miami brutalized the shit out of me. I think Miami is the most abusive relationship I've ever been in, to be honest with you.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why is that?
You know what? There's something about that. And honestly, if I didn't have such a strong anchor, like my biological son, I would have left already. There's something about, and it's not, and I can't say that about anywhere else, not even West Palm Beach. I love West Palm Beach. Yeah. The community here is just so welcoming. Yeah. You know, it's almost a little more all-inclusive. There's something about the vibe in Miami that is impenetrable. It's just, you know, you are not welcome. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it turned into one of those things where, like, you know, out the gate when I arrived here, I worked for a company called Bowl Hospitality. So they own, have you been to Davidoff of Geneva? At the they sell cigars. Okay. You know the casino down in Hollywood, the Guitar. Mm-hmm. So they have
Hard Rock.
The Hard Rock, correct?
Okay.
Yeah. So they have like Bay Korean Grill and a few other. So I was working as like basically like the marketing manager for them. But I had a really hilarious look. It's really interesting because I am by nature an entrepreneur and an artist, okay? When I'm working for somebody else, it's out of desperation. Let's be real, okay? Because it's very, very difficult for me to be in dynamics where I have a direct authority. Not because I'm not good at following rules. I'm actually the most dutiful little bitch you've ever seen, you know what I'm saying? But there's something about when people want to impose their authority on me in an area where I was hired to be the authority.
Got it.
That I'm like, why am I even here?
Right.
Don't you trust me? So what happens to me when I work for other people, in the vein of art, all right, this is why I'm becoming a barber, because I need to take the pressure off of the art to make the money so that I can really make the art I want to make.
Okay.
Right? So when I'm going in as your marketing manager and I'm doing content creation, it's from ideation to execution. I'm taking care of that entire process. If you're constantly getting in my way, and then getting in my face about why things aren't getting done, that to me is so outrageously a non-workable environment. But the problem with my first job is that when I first met the owner, the guy that hired me, I felt like that was my doggy. Like in no moment did I ever feel like, oh, this is a man I work for. So right out the gate, I was like, we're equal, you know what I'm saying? So the dynamic stayed that way. And so it made it kind of, it was hard to kind of take him seriously a little bit. So
when you
Please,
say your dog, I mean, this is the owner of the company.
Yeah, so
you guys connected
like crazy.
It was positive connection,
incredible connection. Okay. Like we should be friends.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? We should have been friends and not. He should have never been my boss, type of thing.
Wow,
you know,
this is interesting.
You
why
know,
is that? Why,
I get what she's saying.
You know?
Yeah. It's when she likes to have her own. You like to have your own autonomy, your own sense of agency.
Yeah.
And you have a vision, and when it feels like he's imposing on your vision, you're like, well, is it your vision or is it my vision? Why'd you even hire me?
Right. I mean, look, in this case, you know, I'm not deluded enough to think that if somebody hires me on a corporate basis, that I'm going to be, you know, obviously you have to fit guidelines.
Yeah.
But this was a pretty extreme situation to the point where he was just sort of self-sabotaging all of us on the creative crew. Yeah. And I was the first one to kind of say to him, hey, guy, actually, you're completely in the wrong. Like, you think that you giving me a salary puts you in the upper hand, but I'm selling you my human potential.
Right.
I'm selling you my incarnation on this planet.
Right.
I have the upper hand, okay? Yeah. And so, anyway, long story short, I left that job and was just kind of grinding away. I do a ton of gig work.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of the dirty shit. I'm a Lyft and Uber driver.
Okay.
Been doing that for years.
So
Okay.
this is interesting to me. On a lot of levels.
Yes.
'Cause
Yes.
but this is interesting. So, do you think you're have you ever heard of the term entrepreneur?
Interesting. No.
So, entrepreneur is someone that has the same vision as a entrepreneur, thinks big, but who's more effective with a in place system,
Sure.
policies, right? Processes that they can use, but they can improve.
Sure. Yeah.
And they have the freedom, autonomy to do what they like within the confinement, though, underneath this umbrella Amazon. You can, once again, we have a vision. You run this department, right? But you still have the freedom, autonomy to lead, to build, to grow, to innovate. Do you feel like you're an entrepreneur? Because we were having a conversation about this the other night. Because you also come off as an artist. So artist is kind of like, and some people, I think, get it misconstrued of what an entrepreneur is, what's the entrepreneur, and then there's artists, right?
Right.
Where do you think you fall in those three? I know we're jumping, but this is interesting to me because I've heard a few things, so just listening to you.
No, I love that. I think that's really interesting too. I agree with you. You're very intuitive. I definitely fall into the vein of artist. And you can see that so clearly because if I had just the business acumen, then I would be a professional artist, right? Like, I mean, the talent is there. There's no doubt. I think that what the thing for me is, I really, really thrive, ironically enough, in a team environment. I really, if somebody could just be taking care of the admin, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. He just said about
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You said the same thing, remember? That's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
You kinda said
that's I'm an artist too.
he's an artist.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah, I think
I can tell by the film. By the
This is
film
interesting. Wow.
regalia that you got going on here. Yeah.
First person ever even know.
Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway. Are you kidding me? These are huge films.
Listen, man, are you listening to Isn't she the first guest that's ever?
Yeah, it's like, well, she's from California.
Okay.
She
That's
went
right.
to film school. So,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. Did you as well study film or have an emphasis on film?
I studied acting.
Okay, dope.
Yeah,
Okay.
studied acting in college.
He thinks he's an actor.
That's I love it,
And
dude.
he
You
thinks
got
he's
it.
a comedian too. He wears a lot of hats. That's why this is beautiful. I see the energy. I see the energy here. This is great. But can we go back to high school before we transition?
Yeah.
Because this is, you said you're art. I think you kind of identify a little bit as an artist.
For sure.
With the entrepreneur spirit. Can
For
we say
sure.
that?
Right.
So from high school, this documentary won awards.
Yep.
What happened? Did you go to college? Did you go to the workforce? What happened from there?
Okay, so for some reason, so I guess the real answer is like my stepfather was pretty conservative when it came to like a career. And for some reason, there was like after I won the award, I didn't really ride that. I should have taken that further into the industry, especially because I was so young. It was such a big accolade for a senior in high school, because I was competing, or my team and we were competing against professional filmmakers.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually really funny. I remember that there was a little bit of an outrage. I mean, so it was like, you're gonna give it to the kids, and it was like, well, it's the vote is in,
Right.
So I ended up just going to. So the thing about me, because I would move around so much, I'm really just like a child of the wind. Okay, and so right after I ended up moving to San Francisco,
Okay.
I got a job at a place called Teatro Zinzani, which was this circus on the water. Okay, it was this high-end circus. Pier 64 or something like that, okay? Right. And they just used to put me in these gorgeous costumes. I was a photographer and I would do face painting, okay? And so I did that for a while I was taking classes at community college because I was like, all right, well, I guess I won't go into film full force. Let's figure out what I want to do. In the meantime, let me fill in these bullshit credits in the least expensive way possible. Okay. So I was going to community college in San Francisco, working at the circus, and just being a rambunctious little fuck, to be honest with you. Okay. Just sort of in this like whole new world,
Right.
Freshly graduated, just trying to and San Francisco back in that day in 2006 was still in its heyday. Okay. It was still like, there was still a lot of order in place in San Francisco. It was beautiful. It was clean. I mean, I've never lived in a city with better public transportation. I was in awe. You could get anywhere as quickly as you wanted. I made incredible friends. The entire city of San Francisco, I'm so in love with, and still continue to be in love with, regardless of what hath happened there. I haven't gone back, but yeah, but you know, I think for me, my childhood was rife with a lot of action, good and bad. And so when I got to that era of my life right after college, where I did have this sort of like introduction into adulthood, I was doing a lot more, I think, processing trauma than really just kind of like focusing on anything. So a lot of what was going on in my life was me going through the motions of pulling out all of this shit. And that between, you know, the time that I was like 20 to the time that I was 30, it was just like these long strings of like trying to open different businesses, getting together with the worst type of people you can imagine, and just failing over and over and over and over and over until I just kind of hung my head down and went back to the motherland, to Bolivia, to just like reassess.
Wow.
But there was a lot of like, I have a lot of iterations of wanting to be an artist. Like I went through a phase a couple years ago. I found a company called Precious Plastics out of the Netherlands, and they teach you how to make like just at home, like not what's the word, like big production. They're smaller machines for recycling plastic, to where you grind the plastic and make new plastic sheets in these ovens. But I recreated that, and I was like using a panini maker. So I got into this like obsessed mode where like I had this idea that I wanted to make like an IKEA style store with buildable furniture that was all made from all of this recycled plastic.
Interesting.
Hella interesting, right? Yeah. Now the crazy thing, guys, about recycling is it actually uses more resources than it saves. Like the industry of recycling itself is a little bit backwards.
It's a bit of a scam.
It's a major fucking scam. Huge scam.
Can you talk a little bit about this?
I mean, well, I'll tell you, you know about that study, right? Where, so this guy put like a tracker on his bottle that he put in a recycling bin in Houston. And then he put a tracker on his bottle that he put in a regular trash can in Houston. And they all wound up at the same place.
Yeah.
So,
oh my.
That's how it goes.
It's like people really think they're saving the world recycling, but
really not.
yeah,
not really Captain Planet, right?
Yeah, and I mean I lived in India for about a year, and there were just mounds and mounds of plastic bottles, like the size of skyscrapers. Wow. And I had this theory, like this is where we think all of our recycled bottles are going.
Right. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. A lot of trash gets shipped to third world countries, literally. So it's really interesting. So
that's one of your business. What other business did you try out?
Oh my God, wow, I have so many. I'm a trained ontological life coach. I studied for a year. I studied human behavior, the study of human behavior, why people make the decisions that they make, and how you can interrupt your decision making in order to retrain your brain to make new decisions. Wow. So I was a life coach in DC for a while.
From DC.
Yeah. But I learned fairly quickly that because I'm scrappy as fuck, because I was raised in such an unorthodox way. Yeah. Right. When you can't meet me at my scrappy, I'm like, I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're quit on the client?
No, I would never quit on my client. I would let them quit on me.
You hear this? You hear this?
No. Because here's the thing about coaching, okay? You're supposed to be a life coach for a few months. If you've had a life coach for like 10 years, that's your therapy. That's something else.
Okay. See, this is good information.
Okay. Like if I'm a success-driven coach, we're supposed to choose a goal and hit it.
Okay.
Just like just like a coach would in any other sport.
I got it.
All right. But it's difficult, guys. I mean, imagine being inside of your own self and dealing with the sort of cognitive, factors that come into play when you're trying to change your life, and then wanting to guide somebody
else,
down that road. Yeah. Now, that was about 10 years ago. So now, at 37, as a mother, I feel like I could now have the sort of sage capability to guide. But back then, when I was 27, I just wanted to get rich.
Yeah.
I wanted to help, but I wanted to help and I wanted to get rich.
Fair. That's fair.
But I don't necessarily have a highly developed business acumen in some ways. Like I'm a very creative problem solver, but without somebody really taking care of the fucking nitty gritty, you know, for how many personalities I have in my head, you think one of us was good at admin. You know what I'm saying? No, one of us can balance the books.
She's a twin. You guys are twins. Desiree, this is amazing to me. I think you look at your
We
mirror.
can have multiple sailing
That's
businesses
hilarious.
together.
This is amazing
That's
to
what's
me.
up, dude.
So no,
what's
so that's
up.
two. That's two that you started.
So then I started recently. My most recent venture is I opened a store called The Bag.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah.
With the hardcover journals.
The hardcover journals. Now, originally it was travel accessories. So I made flasks and I made accessory bags.
Yeah. One says
Drugs.
something-
One says drugs.
One says drugs.
TSA approved.
Yeah, one says drugs on it.
And it's really
crazy.
what it is for.
It's cute, though.
It's cute.
Yeah.
It's very chic. Now that's the thing. So again, if you notice the bag, what you'll notice is my artistic aesthetic. Like
For sure.
I really lean into what is the cleanest, what is the chicest, or I like to go the other way. Where like Basquiat, like that type of thing, where it's like it's not clean or chic on purpose, and it's actually just like a stamp of what is happening in your head at that moment.
It's
you know
crazy.
what I'm
I
saying?
saw that on your hard. Like they're very, very like
Clean.
creative, clean, unique,
Thank
different.
you.
So how'd you come up with that idea? How did that ideation come to life?
Okay. Well, I was living in Miami, okay? And I was already like, so after I worked for this marketing agency, a few months later, I got a job selling tits and ass for a doctor, okay? So I worked for a plastic surgeon.
Okay. Where are we going with this? Literally.
Literally.
What was your position?
Marketing also.
Marketing, okay.
Marketing also.
Okay.
And that was interesting. I mean, when you're on the inside of the industry, I mean, working in beauty sounds really fun, but
Right.
when you're on the inside and you're really seeing what these women are going through,
Yeah.
when they're, I mean, look, like getting a tummy tuck, your scar is from hip to hip, right? So when you're really watching what these women are going through, you're like, is this even fucking worth it? Like, holy shit,
Yeah.
So I was really conflicted because another thing about me is if I don't really believe in what I'm doing, you lost me, man. I mean, I can go through the motions and just work for the cash, but you fucking lost me. Like, so I was really conflicted because, you see girls that, they're so happy with their new tits, but then, there's other women that they're not healing, their bodies are rejecting the implants, and they're actually going through a process that is going to leave irreparable scars, So for me, it was like, whoa, okay, I don't really enjoy this. So I think that I manifested at the end of not 2024, 2023, I contracted a mysterious case of something called coxsackie. Okay, that's what it's called.
I've got one of those.
Yeah, bro. We hope.
Right.
Okay,
I mean-
we hope. Otherwise, we'll be calling you Samina.
Samantha.
Samantha. bro. Sorry.
Oh man.
I'm a little worldly. No, but so and it's hand, foot, and mouth disease. Okay.
It's what?
Hand, foot, and mouth is what it's called. All right. Now listen to this shit. Only kids get it. It's extremely rare
Okay.
for adults to get it, which
Okay.
is why I feel like I manifested it as a way out of this job. Only kids get it. My son didn't get it. Only I got it. Okay. And I have this severe virus, highly contagious. So they're like, obviously, you're not coming to a clinic, right? So for 6 weeks, I worked from home.
Okay.
And then eventually, come the new year, 2024, they were like, don't come back. So I said, phew, great.
So what does those symptoms look like? I mean,
Coxsackie, like it peel the whole bottom of your foot, your hands and the bottom of your feet peel off like sheets. And like with kids, they get these huge, they get sores all down their throat, all in their nose. I didn't get it that severely. I just had around my nostrils, but my hands and my feet were peeling just like sheets of paper. And then I had 105 fever for a few days, and there's not really much you can do. It's just a virus,
got it. Wow. This
So,
is intense.
well, after that, I was going through the process of applying to tons of jobs, and I would always get to I was applying to work for famous coaches, stuff like that, and I would always get to the last interview, and then somehow I just wouldn't get the job, and one time I looked at my Indeed and it was literally like 350 applications deep. Oh. And so you're going, what the fuck, right? So what am I supposed to do now? How do I leverage all of this? So it took about a year of me just doing creative work, gig work, freelance shit, until finally I said, you know what? I think having something online would probably be prudent, right? And so it was like sort of, we were going into the election, last summer, I got a prescription for Adderall, okay?
Okay.
And on my first month of being prescribed Adderall, I taught myself how to animate. And so I thought I was going to start an animation series called A Million Little Questions for kids, because kids have a million little questions. Okay. So the first one I made was about the presidential election. It's sick. It's really cool. Yeah. But that was such a tedious process. It took me 12 days of like staying up 72-hour chunks. Yeah. That, again, unsustainable model. There's the artist. Where's the businesswoman? Right. The thing I throw myself into is unsustainable models because I am the creative. Yeah. I am not the businesswoman in those veins. Anyway, it just got to the point where I just wanted to figure out how to leverage having a store online.
Got it.
Now, it was great. It was great for a while. The thing is that when you work with Printify, so I work with Printify to do the print on demand.
This is the bag.
This is the bag.
Okay,
this is the bag.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And now, again, we were going into the elections. The reason why my store is called The Bag is because a lot of my original material, like I had shirts that said Balenciaga, okay? So a lot of my shit was like really playing into the Donald, oh my God. My brain calls him Tronald Dump, so that's kind of funny. I also say Leon Musk, so it's really like dyslexia at its best, you know? But I called it The Bag because I wanted to say, this isn't personal, it's not politics, it's just the bag, right? But then a lot of crazy shit started to happen to where I had to be like, you know what, girl, just turn it into art, keep the bag, stay away from politics. So it started to gain traction. Now, the thing about working with the print on demand, now this is a little lesson for all you business folk out there trying to get into this business. The thing about working with print on demand is that you front the manufacturing cost. Yep. So somebody goes on my site. Now, all of my products come out of the United States of America. We're dodging tariffs out here like Neo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck true. That.
For sure.
They all come from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
But if I don't have money in the account, if I don't have cash flow up front, when somebody makes an order, okay, I have to either wait for their cash to clear, which could take anywhere up to 10 days, to push the manufacturing through, or I have to front it. So because I started to have a cash flow issue, sometimes people would make orders and they would all auto process, and then I would be overdraft out of my account, and it would take 10 days for Shopify to send me the funds. So relatively unsustainable. Every manufacturer in the world has a cash flow conversation. Yeah. But for me specifically right now, so I took the store down just for now, so that the overhead, so I'm not paying. I mean, I could put it up at any second.
I saw it. It was up today.
It's there, but you can't order anything. Oh, you can order through me, personally, through me. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But I needed to sort of, here was my whole thing. Because if you are going to go on there and you're going to pay for 6-day shipping, let's say, but I can't clear your cash for 10 days, that's a scam. It's actually now 16-day shipping, and we haven't even made your product. And so for me, that's one thing about every business I've ever ventured into. Yeah. What I do have is good customer service. And so that's what I rely on,
What were you ask?
I was going to ask why if you considered getting a line of credit, but it's neither here nor there.
Man, I have already raped and pillaged my credit. You know what I mean? Yeah. I recently thought somebody stole my identity, and I was thrilled.
I saw your mind going, so that's why I saw it going. So
I did some drop shipping too. It's tough.
It's very tough. It really is. Yeah. I mean, and it's very competitive.
It is. It's a competitive space. I did very well when I would order stacks of books. Yeah. When I can sell them personally, I do very well. So again, I drive, Lyft, and Uber, which has been such a wild experience for me for many reasons. As a woman, but also just because just being out on the streets with people is like really, really, illuminating in a lot of ways. But basically, the back of the front seat is outfitted with books. I mean, I've already sold all of them, so I need to make a new order.
The
But
hardcover journals, right? I wanna
Yeah.
make
So
sure.
you
Okay.
sell them to your
Out of the
clients.
taxi.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so
Because it's a captive audience. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
interesting.
Really, really good idea.
They're literally captive in my vehicle. Where are they going to go?
It's great, no, it's a great idea.
Like, fuck.
So,
This driver's trying to sell me a book.
you understand that? But it's good. I mean, it's a great idea. In-house clientele, right?
Yeah.
That's
No.
what's
up. So tell me-
Upsell, it's an upsell.
It's an upsell. It's an upsell.
So, when did you start to pursue comedy? Like, when did this come into play?
Right. So my entire life, I've been a theater kid forever. So I've been on stage since I was very little.
Okay.
So I've always known that. And it's like, you know, if I'm not on stage, there's drama anyway. Somehow the drama spews out of my pores. Okay. So we want to take it to the stage so
Got
it
it.
stays out of everybody else's personal lives. All right. Truly, let's be real. So I've always had the need to be in the public eye.
Okay.
And I call it a need because that's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
A need. That's
It's a-
strong. You know that term is.
Very strong.
Okay.
But when I do comedy, it is literally a catharsis for me. I do it because I need it as therapy. I do it because that day I just need to be in that feeling of not just being with you, but just commanding your attention.
Okay.
You know, there's just something about it. Like, no man will ever give you the level of attention and satisfaction that a crowd can. You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
that's deep.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should take that personal or not. You might want to take that personal, buddy. Just be honest. You didn't hear what she said.
What's better,
You're
an
like-
orgasm or a laugh from a full crowd?
Sam, that's such a good question. I'm gonna say laugh because I come so much every day. Like every day I'm coming all the time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like I rather the laughs are harder won. Coming is easy. You know what I'm saying?
Not for all.
Not for everyone.
Yeah, let's make sure we put that out there. Not for all.
Not for the sad
Not
ones.
for our girlfriends.
Not for
Yes.
yeah, not for all,
Well,
right?
I wonder what the common denominator is there.
This is interesting that you that's a belief system.
Yeah.
Have you had would you say you've had healthy relationships
Not
with men?
remotely.
No.
Do you feel that it stems that belief system stems from maybe some of the unhealthy or toxic relationships you've had with men?
I definitely think that I am. Well, look, I'm intense. I'm very intense,
Okay.
and I bring the intensity no matter what I do, and I
can feel
bring
it,
that
for
to my
sure.
love life.
Yeah, I can feel
Yeah.
it.
And I'm one of those like I'm very much like all or nothing. Like
Okay.
you know, I don't know if you believe in astrology. I mean, you don't have to believe in it. It just is. But
What's your birthday?
August 4th, just like Meghan Markle and Obama,
August 4th, 88?
87. Yeah.
87?
Yeah. What about you?
February 17th?
Okay.
You guys match?
No, I don't know. No. But like,
I mean,
wait, February
well, he
is what?
knows-
Aquarius?
Yeah.
She
Aquarius
knows stuff
sun.
like you, man.
No, Aquariuses are like very.
I don't do
yeah.
astrology. I do the numerology.
I love numerology.
I could give you a reading.
You guys are. This is pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
When's your birthday, Jay?
December 27th.
It's coming up.
So-
You're a Capricorn.
So
29 plus 8.
see, he's
is
doing this
37.
already. This
So
guy.
you're a 1 and a 4.
Amazing. You're incredible. Yes, Sam. I'm a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does
So
this.
ones are like super intense, one-dimensional. They're fighters. They're aggressive. They get angry easily. They're naturally athletic. They're drawn to like alcohol.
Okay.
Like if they get focused on something, like there's no stopping them. They're like set in motion. She's also a 4 like you.
Okay.
4s are like they see the world very black and white. They're very hard workers. There's like a clear right and wrong. Like they make good law enforcement or
Wow.
lawyers.
Oh.
Yeah.
I could see that very much. Just driven by integrity, I think, or values. Just strong values that don't waver.
Yeah. 1
That's
and
pretty
4
much-
is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you've been in comedy for how long?
Since January.
Oh, she's.
Well, we're already in October, so that's almost.
It's been
a year.
10 months,
It's
yeah.
Almost, you almost got
Almost
a
a
year
year.
under your belt.
Yeah.
Damn, you're right with her.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not in comedy. Well, so I did one. I mean, I didn't even really do stand up ever. What happened is my uncle, he's the president of the Laugh Factory, and on his birthday, I asked if I could make a speech at the Laugh Factory, and I turned that speech into a set of comedy.
Amazing. That's dope.
And everyone was there, like Tiffany Haddish, Tony Rock, like the biggest comedian, he's producing a movie and all the stars of the movie were there, and I think I tore the house down. He got really upset with me, but
Your uncle did?
Yeah.
Come on, Unc. Come on, bro.
Yeah. But to the I could tell a story, but I don't want to name drop, and I don't think he'd appreciate me telling the story. So anyway, that was.
So January for you.
January. Well, that's when I really, really started just hitting the mics.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And of course, it was a natural thing.
Okay.
Because I'm a talker, and comedy is a conversation. If you're a good conversationalist, you're a good comedian, right? Wow. Now it's really funny because
Jay, you should do it.
No, that's not my cup of
talking, man.
Nah, that's not my cup of tea.
He's a good, yeah.
He's great at talking.
And he's funny. I never laugh harder than when I talk.
I have dry sense of humor, so
that's what's up. I love that.
So I can see you being good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Could you?
For sure.
This is cute. This guy here, he's a comedian here. I'm not. Yeah, he's a real comedian.
And I'll tell you,
you're pretty quick-witted too, Jay.
I think I'm okay. I mean,
he comes up with things. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I'm a comedian. But you
I'll be holding the mic and be like, you look like John Bon Jovi holding the microphone.
I would do something like that. Well, that's not comedy.
I love the callback. I love the callback to our childhoods.
I would. What? Would you do it if I gave you $500?
Absolutely not.
You wouldn't.
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Well, you've been doing it.
She would.
I would pay $500 to see Jay do comedy. I really would.
So January.
Yeah.
You committed to this.
Yeah.
Are you committed?
Committed.
Wow. And what was the inspiration behind it?
It was just time, bro. It was just time. Like, I had just opened my store. Now I have something to talk about. I also, again, I was in this really kind of brutal situation in Miami that felt like this weird isolation because I have no family there. My son has a big family there, which is why I took him there. But I have no family there. So that turned into, it was just one of those moments where one day I got up and I said, let's hit a mic, man.
Just like that.
Just like that. Let's go. Fuck it. Let's go. And so I just wrote a fucking quick thing and I went and then I kept going. And then the first few times I ate shit, I bombed.
Okay.
You can't really tell that I'm bombing because I'm up there just like, talking mad shit,
Yeah.
But if you look back, you're like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Like I used to have these little nervous tics that were so funny. One time it's like, and I'm very physical on stage. I move back and forth.
Okay.
And one time I literally have my right hand in my pocket the entire fucking time. And it's not even moving. I'm just whipping back and forth with my fucking hand firmly in my pocket.
Right.
So you're like, oh, I have grace for those little nervous tics,
Got it.
Or one time I walked up and the guy before me was really tall.
Yeah.
So the mic was up here and I did my whole set like a little fucking like a little guinea pig, trying to eat from
Got it.
But you don't notice when you're up there. And that's the crazy thing about performing is you do enter some sort of portal. I mean, your sense of time goes away. Everything. It's just like you potentialize something inside of you. At least that's the way it feels for me. And so it's really important for me to often push into all of the edges. I definitely am pretty intense about making sure that I'm challenging myself as much as I can.
How many sets do you think you've done?
Well, at this point, that's a great question. 10 months, I don't know, 40, 50, I got booked pretty quickly. My first paid show was a couple months in.
Oh, wow.
It was $20, but that's what's up. Jobless,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then right after that, I got booked at the Dirty Word Music Festival with Sarah and my friend Dane. And we did comedy there in Orlando, which was
cool.
Sick as fuck, dude.
Wow.
Now that's something I could get really used to.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many people were there?
Honestly, it was the worst timing for them to put on a comedy show because it was right in the middle of a 3-day bender, right? So we should have gone. So Abby came and performed at that show too, and she demolished, bro, because she was there. First of all, she's incredible and hilarious, and she did redneck yoga, which was so fucking funny,
redneck yoga.
So good, right? And she was all decked out. Oh my God, no, what a star! But she performed on the third day when everybody was just itching to be inside. We've been drinking and partying for 3 days. Now it's cool. But we got there right at the top, sort of so we had not a huge crew of people, but just the experience of being talent in something like a music festival, and like, we would fuck around. Like I was wearing like my green, artist band.
Okay.
And I would be like, my eyes are right here, dog. My eyes are right here. You know what I'm saying? Like just
Gotcha.
like trying to flaunt it. And it's so funny when you're literally green to anything, and you don't necessarily have that sort of, you're not jaded by fame, LOL, if I dare. Because there's this humility. Like there's a lot of times at the music festival, like we would be trying to like, I don't know, get into, because it was a rave, and there was all these different concerts at so we'd be trying to get into different doors, and then the security guard would be like, "Why did you tell me you're an artist?" And I would be like, I just forgot. I don't, and I think it's because when I'm like, you're like, "Are you focused on comedy?" Yes, but tell me why. Not because when I look and I go, "I'm gonna be a famous comedian." I think I'm gonna be a famous barber. I think I'm going to be speaking on world stages, but I don't think it's going to be stand-up comedy.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it's going to be more in terms of healing modalities.
Comedy is like a training ground to get good at public speaking, to feel comfortable and build your confidence up. And I mean, if you could do comedy, you could do anything.
That's right. That's what's up. Yeah. Right. Because you have to have a certain level of also just surrender. You have to be able to go up there, surrender, and then enter a conversation with the people that are right in front of you. And the worst thing that you could try to do is control the moment. Because a lot of times you show up. Well, look, everybody's got their own methodologies. Some people would never show up if they hadn't rehearsed. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time I show up and I'm writing my set before I'm about to get on stage.
Wow.
Well, because the thing is, if I'm sitting there and I'm listening, something you say will always give me a new idea, or I'm going to take your point and end it. Okay. So it's a very malleable process, right? But that's why I use it as a catharsis. I don't necessarily need to, extinguish, like I don't necessarily need to like put myself in all these little cubbies. Like for example, if I wanted to do this as a business, speaking of business acumen, my most prudent first move would be to make a type 5, right? Where it's like, all right, well,
what's a type 5?
Type 5-minute set.
A type 5.
Type 5-minute set.
Type 5.
Because that's what you send out to get hired.
Oh, interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's good information.
Yeah. So that's like your creative stamp.
Okay.
As a comic. Now, the thing about me is I have so much to say.
Okay.
And my comedy errs on the side of dark.
Okay.
By nature. Even when I try to write light shit.
Yeah.
They told me I need to write lighter shit the other day. I did a whole set on incest. So what's more family friendly than that? You know what I'm saying?
Where do you find inspiration with writing jokes and
every little thing. Every little thing. It's really just like one of those things where like, so again, that's a great question, because then it's like, all right, I'm going to write this type 5 that in essence will represent me as a speaker and a writer. So then you're like, well, what do I really want to talk about? So at Dirty Bird, I was tasked, it was therapy sessions live. So we all had different topics, and I was tasked with talking about addiction. And I crushed. It was great. But do I want addiction to be the stamp? Do you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, well, no, maybe I'll talk about motherhood. And then I can write so much beautiful shit about that. And I crush. And it's great. But do I want that? You know what I'm saying? So like, the material is lush. And it's also because I've lived in a very unorthodox way. I've seen so much of the world. And I really do be living on the streets. Like I'm training to be a barber. Every Thursday and Saturday, I go to Common Grounds Church. We cut hair for the homeless, right? I just put on an event for the foster youth of West Palm Beach. We gave them free haircuts, I'm trying to create a symbiotic relationship between Hollywood Institute of Beauty and the foster community in the area, just because that specific subset of people are very underserved and they need a lot of support, and it's literally the people that are picking up the stray kids. God forgive me for even saying it that way, but that's what it is. And so it's really interesting to be able to just often just like,
so you're in barber school.
I'm in barber school.
So you're already cutting hair now.
What do you prefer, men or women?
Men.
Wow.
You want to give me my next haircut?
Hell yeah, let's go, Sam. Let's go.
I actually did just kind of fall for my barber.
You did? You had a lady barber?
I had a lady barber, gorgeous.
Tell me everything.
I don't know. She might listen to this podcast. She follows me on Instagram.
This is for you, boo.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
So you cut all ethnicities?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, super
Yeah.
cool.
Do you like
And
black guys or white guys more? To cut their hair.
Okay, that's a great question. Well, it just depends. Obviously, in terms of like straight hair,
Yeah.
it's easier to have a handle on it. But because of, so, I guess you could say that like my school in general is a little hood, I guess you
Okay,
could say,
for
right?
sure, yeah.
So I've actually really mostly been cutting black hair.
okay.
So it's just a little more well, no, let me just, it's not tedious. The thing about me is that, like, again, with the intensity that I bring, I'm so locked into whoever's sitting in my barber chair to the point where, like, it's me and a bunch of dudes at Barber School, okay? And they're always like, no caressing. And I'm like, I can't help it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Because my instinct is because you're in my hands.
Right.
First of all, not only are you in my hands, but this is a very intimate moment,
Right.
especially if I'm about to shave your beard. Did you know that barbers are the only other professionals aside from surgeons that are allowed to hold a sharpened razor to your carotid artery?
Wow.
Nobody else except for a barber and a
amazing
surgeon, not
when you
even a
think about that.
cosmetologist. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So there's something extremely intimate about the experience of being a barber.
What interests you to get into?
So let's talk about maybe a little bit of the business acumen now.
Okay.
What I knew that I needed was a very practical, highly sellable skill.
Okay.
And so I had an aunt in New Hampshire, where my stepfather's from, who was a barber. And my mother used to just use her as a model of like how, Janie comes home with $300 in her pocket every single day. And she's chilling. So I guess
How much barbers make? That's pretty good.
she's like 40 years in the game. So
Okay.
she's got a roster, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also, yes, you can. You can. It just depends, right? It just depends on like the way.
I
That,
just paid my barber $100 for a haircut.
that's what's up. But wait, did she give you like a massage?
I felt like she was getting a little
paid her
handsy with
what?
me. But the haircut was $80 and I tipped her 20.
Beautiful. It's pretty good.
Wow.
Is that a
That's
good
great.
tip?
That's an incredible tip.
Okay.
That's an incredible tip.
Yeah, the price tag is different than the African American.
Yeah, black guy.
It's about $30.
You said it.
Yeah, that's industry standard.
That's amazing.
I'll tell you what, she did a good job.
As long as you're happy with it, it all matters.
Yeah, we'll see if she responds. I asked her out. We'll see.
Come on, girl.
So you were saying this story that you were inspired by your aunt because she always came home with cash.
Right.
Probably,
Yeah. So my mother lives in Vanuatu, which is a tiny set of islands. It's an archipelago over by Australia. It's like
That's where your mom lives.
Yeah, that's where she
Did
lives.
you see her? Like,
I hardly see her. I hardly see her. That's the one thing I think I'm missing the most in my life. I mean, I grew up, again, kind of solo dolo because I was like, the spare child going back and forth.
Yeah.
And at this moment of my life, I really crave my blood, man. I'm dying to go back to Bolivia. I haven't seen my dad in 4 years. Wow. I'm like really craving, the call of the blood. But as soon as I finish barber school and my son gets out of summer, for summer, we're going to take off. We're going to go to Bolivia.
Okay.
I'm going to do me a little ayahuasca. I'm going to go convene with the mother. And I know that that's like the literal. I haven't done ayahuasca yet, and I'm very experienced in the domain of not just psychedelics but drugs in general.
Okay.
I've yet to do ayahuasca because I specifically wanted to feel the call. I never, I've smoked DMT in some guy's truck, you know what I'm saying? But like if I was going to do ayahuasca, I wanted to intuitively feel like I was being called to it.
Got it.
And in this moment now,
You feeling like it's
oh
time.
my God, it's like, come hither, baby. Like there's much to be gleaned from that experience that I'm about to have with the cosmos.
Got it.
I think that that's going to be the sort of like cap on the barbering experience. So basically I'm being brought to use my hands on men
Okay.
specifically. And I think that I have a really beautiful gift. And I think that if I could, if what I have to offer is that you sit in my chair every couple weeks, and that is a moment of catharsis for you, and that is a moment of regeneration for you, and then you take that and you create a ripple effects in your family, then holy shit.
When do you get your license?
I'm 2 months deep.
Okay.
And you need 900 hours. So
900 hours?
900, bro. And it used to be 12.
Yeah.
1,200.
That's a lot of
It's like
hours.
yoga teachers. Yoga teachers is
200 hours for a yoga teacher.
Yeah,
Really?
200,
Is it two?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have sworn it was way more.
I thought so too. I knew
Yeah.
No, I got my yoga teacher training license.
You
Are you
did.
gonna become a yogi?
When I was 20 years, when I went to India.
Wow.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. I got it.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So you have to get 900 hours.
I have to have 900 hours.
Okay.
So I'm just at the very beginning right now.
Got it. So you wear a lot of hats.
I wear an incredible amount.
You're barber.
Yeah.
You Uber.
Yeah.
You're a comedian.
Yeah.
You run This Is the Bag website.
Yes, sir.
Those 4 things.
Those 4 things.
So she's a mother.
And I'm a mother.
I mean, I didn't want to. Yeah, for sure. That's a whole
sure.
different job, right?
Thank you.
You're right.
Thank you, Samuel.
Yeah, you're right. Who's your Mount Rushmore for comedians?
That's a really great question. I love Dave Chappelle because he talks about, and you could consider them comedians because they're writers, but Trey Parker and Matt Stone. I just listen.
The
South Park writers, the South Park writers.
Okay.
You watch South Park, Jay?
No, never have.
Oh, you might love it.
Okay.
You might love it.
I don't know if it's Jay's thing.
No, you don't think so? It's a little too off the wall.
He's got a peculiar. He likes action, suspense movies.
Yeah, I could see
He's
that.
not really a comedy guy.
Yeah, I'm not really a comedy.
He's not really a comedy.
You know what? Most Capricorns I know are not. They're really into like that same shit, intensity.
Yeah.
I bet you like war films.
I will watch it more like Gladiator, like warrior type
Okay,
stuff. Not really
okay.
the whole like war.
Sure.
But gladiators, anything like that, Vikings, I'm gonna watch it. For
Dope.
Sure. Yeah.
That's cool.
So you were saying your Mount Rushmore is
Dave Chappelle.
okay.
Dave Chappelle, Trey Parker, Matt Stone.
Yeah, I just love. Listen, I love when the conversation is a real conversation.
Okay.
Like a lot of my shit, like when you look at a lot of my material, I am really just talking shit, and I have a lot of one-liners and stuff like that. But I really respect, and this is why I say, like, I know I will be a public speaker. I don't know if it's exactly in the vein of comedy, because I do love when the conversation is useful. I would love to. Okay, it's like I think it's a privilege to have 5 minutes on the mic. I think it's a privilege to have your ear. How do you want to use that time? What would you like to say?
Yeah.
Now, right now, I'm just a rambunctious fuck. I just get up there and I fucking talk mad shit and I make sure you laugh about it. But eventually, you know, as I'm like really digging my talons into this, I would like to be able to. That's why I think that talking about being a mother is actually such a good next move, because raising a human is one of the most psychedelic experiences I've ever been through. You know what I'm saying? Because you're simultaneously accessing not only his subconscious, but your own subconscious. And and simultaneously unpacking, you're suddenly realizing the way your parents did things, the way you're conditioned. I mean, nothing will bring out your blatant conditioning as much as having to raise a child, because you start to really notice, why do I do the things I do? And because now you're teaching it. You have to hold yourself. You really have to. That is the moment where you start to look at yourself in the mirror and you start to go, what kind of shit are you choosing? You know?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. It's amazing. I mean, it was like.
So what I was going to ask about the baby daddy is, you're tight with your son's father?
Yeah, so this is a really interesting. So he was my first kiss when I was 13 years old. His name is Gaston, okay? And my son's name is Gaston too. Okay. And the new wife, her name is Belle. You guys, Gaston and Belle, I love it.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast, baby. I guess that makes me the Beast. I guess that. Or maybe I'm the teapot. We'll call me the teapot. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, it's a beautiful story. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I was the photographer at his wedding, you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you guys are tight.
We're tight. I mean, I've known him since I was a kid.
Okay.
We had a baby in Bolivia. Life happened. We had to rearrange things. And then I was raising my son by myself for about 5 years, and I realized this is bullshit. Okay. Like, first of all, after I had potty trained my kid, his daddy was visiting once, and I overheard them in the bathroom, and his daddy was like, now you have to shake it off. And I had just an epiphany, and I was like, the amount of penile conversations you won't even know to have with this boy. I was like, I would have never thought. And it's something so basic. But as a woman, okay, the most responsible thing that you can do. Now, I have lesbian friends that are 2 mommies in a household. All I'm saying is, from my experience, raising a small man, the most responsible thing I could have done was make sure that he had that father figure, that male presence. Figure, you know?
Presence,
And he wasn't going to follow us anywhere for whatever reason. God bless him, he knows what he's doing. So I knew I had to take the, So I moved myself here,
Okay.
and so that they could have a relationship, and it's the best thing I could have ever done. We're very, very different. My ex is very, very structured, very OCD, not an artist by any means.
Okay.
Really likes things to be, and which is exactly what my son needs to see. Because when he's at mommy's house, you know, we're talking, I'm like, you know, I would drive him to school. Like he used to go to school in Key Biscayne, and I was living downtown Miami. And on the drive to school, there would be all this traffic. And I would be like, ever since Henry Ford took over the educational system, you guys are being worked like little fucking factory workers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we need to reform the education in America. And my kid is like, okay, mommy, you're wild. But he has a very different experience at his dad's house where it's like everything, you know, is structured. So I'm very, very grateful. And I knew for a fact out the gate that if I was going to want to create a flowing, beautiful, at the end of the day, whether I'm baby mama number 1 or number 2, I'm the matriarch. I'm the matriarch. And I knew the mother is always the sacrificial lamb of the family. It's just the way it goes. And I knew that I was just going to have to lean into that as much as possible. And so I just made sure that we had a really beautiful relationship. I never asked for anything. I don't ask for anything. I just made sure, because here's the thing, guys, when you know your own power, it's hard. It's even hard to ask for things from people that you know are going to have to work really hard to provide that for you. Because you're like, it's almost like putting my head down.
Yeah.
You know?
That's interesting. You know you have a superpower.
Because I know, you know, it's even,
most humans
like,
don't know that. They don't even know they have a superpower, and then they don't even discover what that is. So that's you already are ahead of probably 99% of humans.
do you guys think all people have a superpower?
I do believe
Yeah?
that.
Tell me
No,
more.
I don't think all humans have a soul.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I don't.
You know,
agree
some
with
people,
that.
there's not even a person behind the eyes.
That's
Yeah.
just because they haven't discovered their purpose,
That's interesting.
or they haven't discovered, like, once again, their superpower. It could be communication. It could be the ability to connect. It could be the ability to listen. It could be the ability to.
You're giving the average person a lot more credit.
Yeah, but because I just think that we weren't taught.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, we just weren't taught, you know, life skills. We haven't been taught, you know, success principles. You know,
Right.
there's so many different things that we can dive into a whole different rabbit hole. But I think for sure everyone has a superpower. I believe everyone has a superpower.
I love that. That's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
why you have such a beautiful soul.
Yeah, and
You
I
know?
just think we just majority of humans will probably never discover it,
Right.
and they go to their grave with their gifts.
Well, if
No,
you want to
it's-
get, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sam.
I was watching Fight Club last night, and there's that scene where like Brad Pitt's like about to get in a car crash. He's like, "What do you wish you did before you died?"
Oh God.
And everyone's like, "Stop!" And then he's like, he's like gonna kill them all.
That's crazy.
And like that really makes you think of.
It
Like,
really makes you
yeah,
think.
You
Yeah.
better believe it makes you think.
It really makes you think. And that's another thing. Nothing will bring you face to face with your mortality like being a fucking parent. Because now you're watching time in progress. You know what I'm
That's deep
saying?
also.
Yeah, it's very deep. You can't escape it. Now you really can't escape it.
Wow.
You know? So yeah. So
What's the craziest thing that's happened to you from a crowd?
from a crowd.
Yeah. Anything crazy that's happened to you?
Should anyone show their tits?
No, dude, I almost no. I think that like no, I think that like that's a great question, and actually, I would venture to say that I think the crowd has a more crazy experience from me than I have ever had from a crowd member. I think too because when I get on stage, sometimes I'm so dominating, you know, that it's almost like hard. You couldn't heckle me if you tried. I mean, I did have a guy because my name is Giselle Desiree. Okay. I guess the only time somebody ever tried to heckle me, I just humiliated him for the course of the entire night that I don't think anybody would want to ever again. Yeah. I said my name. I said in passing, my name is Giselle Desiree. And I was making a joke about how sexual that sounds. And his retort was, "Do you like to get jizzed on?" And so I played off of that.
Good joke.
I played off, right, whatever, right? I played off of that. And it was fine. But then afterwards, when I was in the crowd, he was trying to talk mad game about how like, oh yeah, like I've been meaning to get on stage forever. And I was like, all right, great. I said, bet, I'm gonna call your bluff. I said, tomorrow there's a mic here. Next day there's a mic here. Next day there's a mic here. And he was like, oh no, dude, I don't think I'm ready. And I was like, if you have the nutsack to stand here and scream up to me, you need to get jizz done,
Yeah.
then you could do an open mic, bro.
Right.
And so for the rest of the night, anytime new people would come and join the hang, I would be like, this motherfucker's doing his first open mic tomorrow. And I just kept calling him out over and over and over to the point where I was like, all right, I guess he got the message. Like, I will play the long game and I will out embarrass you,
Yeah.
you know?
She's a killer.
I'm a kid.
Certified. You're a certified.
We talk
killer.
about a lot of talk about killers
You're
on the show.
certified. I know killers. I can. You're certified.
In his
You
mind,
said-
I'm not a killer. So
what,
You're like you're
He's
just
a
a
shooter.
Labrador. Oh, shooter.
I'm a shooter.
Okay.
not a
shooters.
killer.
Okay.
You know, some
Shooters
people-
shoot their shot.
Yeah, they shoot
Yeah.
their shot.
Yeah.
But killers are very like
Yeah.
Killers go for the
strategic.
kill.
Yeah.
And they
yeah.
find. You said something very like powerful. You said, "I will out like last." Like
Yeah. Play the
you're
long
not-
game.
You're playing. You play the long game.
Yeah.
You know that's a mindset.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Which probably for men can be very. You can make men feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Lesser than.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know. Do you like alpha men? You probably really need a. I don't know if you need an alpha or you need someone that's emotionally intelligent also.
Definitely.
Because you're very come off very intense.
Yeah.
A little bit, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you also will speak your mind,
Yeah.
and that could be hurtful to a man because you're going to speak the truth.
Well, that's really deep, actually. That's very profound. Yeah. I can't have relationships with people that can't look at themselves. But I've learned the responsibility of truth. And there's a responsibility in delivering the truth. And if your objective is to be effective, you have to learn how to deliver things. Because a lot of times people will stand their business like, it's just the truth. And if you can't take it, that's on you. And it's like, well, sure, but then you're just you're not really a messenger. You're just a yapper. Because all you're doing is throwing it back in their face without having them understand it from a different paradigm. So what I've learned, which is very intuitive of you, is to, in that way, be a better communicator. I've learned to be able to talk about you and not make it feel like, or myself. I'm the first one to say to you, I'm sorry, I fucked up. You were right. You know, I'm the first one to say, I shouldn't have done that. Like, but I think you have to be first very, very willing to be in the grace of accepting. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing better than just being able to say, I'm sorry. It's really crazy for me that people think that it's almost a weakness when it's liberty. It's liberty in its pure form. Because you get to really say, hey man, it's just a human experience, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't do stupid, shitty things. Don't be a piece of shit. Be cool, you know? Because an apology is not, you know. But what I'm getting at is that, like, yes, my relationships have been very intense because I am very intense. Mm-hmm. But now, because I'm stepping so far into my power, there's a lot of things I don't need from men anymore, but in the best way. So, like, because I can take myself out, go on stage and give you a piece I just wrote and be able to fill myself with that level of sort of attention or affirmation, because that's what I'm doing. I don't do it for the love of the art. I do it because I hate myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm just joking, obviously. But then I don't necessarily need to glom that onto my relationships. You don't have that pressure on you anymore as my lover. You know what I'm saying? So once you start to get really responsible about who you are as an intense creator in the world, right? Then you start to have, like, much better relationships. Much better relationships.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned now let's start with comedy. What's the biggest lesson you've learned so far?
The biggest lesson I've learned in comedy is the minute you start to not be yourself, you're bombing. You will bomb. The best thing you can do, the number one rule of being successful in this game, is keep it as authentic as possible. For a couple different reasons. Number one, that's your unique selling point, right? Because I got to a point, because a lot of my comedy is a little bit more like, I just write, you know, and I'm also literate, you know, so I've been, like, reading since I was a kid. So a lot of my comedy can go over your head. Yeah. And so at first, I kind of let that get to me. And I was like, you got to dumb it down. But then it was like, if I'm dumbing it down, it's just another 9 to 5. Then it's not your voice. Then it's not your platform, right? So what I started to find was, like, when I was doing comedy in Miami, the people that were getting the most responses were the ones that were like, hey, Miami, papi, mami, la, 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 you know? Right. So then I would be like, well, maybe I should do more of that. And it's like, why would you? That isn't you. that's actually not your voice. And then you try to do that and it's fake. And people are like, oh, look at this try hard, you know? So the best thing I could have ever done is just go, you know what? Even if it's the weirdest shit you've ever heard, even if it's this, like, do the thing that just came out straight out of you in the words you would use. And then you start to notice that people are like, oh, that's fucking cool. Or holy shit, I've never heard that before. I think it's just like managing the really beautiful balance between how much external acceptance you require for internal acceptance.
Love it.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to aspiring comedians?
Dude, you think you're scared about like, what are people gonna think? Nobody wants to get on the mic, and then you get up there and it's the same twerps and dweebs every day. Every open mic, it's the same homies. Right. Everyone's doing, their same jokes over and over. The community in West Palm Beach is so dope. Everyone's so down for the new guys. They really want to help. It's a really great place to start, especially in West Palm Beach, especially rooms like the Peach, on Mondays on Georgia Avenue, because the Peach, like the venue is so sick. It feels like a house party. So you're very relaxed into it. So my advice is just like, look, man, if you're so afraid of like what people are going to think, just get behind that mic and look at those idiots that you're afraid of. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and you're like, oh, this is a cinch,
Do you consider yourself to be competitive?
Specifically in the game of comedy?
Just in general.
I can be competitive, sure.
Got it.
I can be competitive because I do have, here's the irony, right? Thankfully, if I didn't have this much adversity in my life, I think I would be a monster. Okay. Because I have such a huge ego and I have a lot of reasons to have a big ego. Okay. And so I think if I hadn't just been like abused my whole life, I would be a monster, bro.
You think I would be a monster?
Look, if your whole life everybody was like, you're the hottest, you're the best, you're the hottest, you're the smartest, you're the best, you're the hottest, and nobody ever gave you a little bit of abuse to check that, we might be horrible people, truly.
Yeah. Well, he believes he is, so.
What are you saying?
His ego. He talks about his ego all the time, So.
I say it's good to have an ego. I say if you don't have an ego, you're a loser.
Well, you say more than that.
I agree. Yeah. I think ego is beneficial.
I don't know if you're a loser if you don't have an ego, because ego. I believe
everyone has an ego.
No, it could also be self-confidence, also, because I think ego's the enemy.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I believe that like
ego is not your amigo.
You should do some ayahuasca. Yeah, melt that ego away. Yeah. Imagine him on ayahuasca.
He would sprout wings, bro.
I think it's more self-confidence.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. The sort of like pop culture meaning of ego, we know it to be as somebody who is pompous. But in psychology in general, the ego is just the sense of self. Right. It has nothing really to do with a social hierarchy or anything. It's the ego. And then if you want to go even further, Freud coined the id, which is the animal self, right? So the ego is really just the sense of self, which I think that's why people get so sort of like clutch their pearls if you have a big ego. It's because we've been taught erroneously in this society that self-celebration is wrong. And I think it's because there's almost like this morality slapped on being able to give yourself accolades because you don't want to make somebody feel inferior. But I think that's a backwards model. Yeah. I think that again we go back to when you can recognize your own power. With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah. And one of the best things that you can do is be your power in the world. Yeah. And you don't have to be a prick, man. That's great. But it is good for people to see you head held high, shoulders back.
Yeah, that's self-confidence. Yeah, that's confidence. Real confidence. So right. There's not. Yeah, that's.
But confidence is the kind of thing you can fake it till you make it.
Oh, I don't know if that's true either.
I think there's something to it that if you're naturally not a confident person, you can act like a confident person, and it can.
It benefits you a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
it can kind of.
You can speak affirmations, but I think confidence comes from competence.
Yes, exactly.
From like results, outcomes. Like you become more confident when you like start hitting some goal. It can be small, like I worked out one day this week. You want to turn into a person that works out. By working out. Like that's where confidence comes from. And then you can start to lose weight. But that's a whole another conversation. I don't believe in the fake it till you make it.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I don't believe in the fake it till you make it. I believe that I believe in a belief system.
Sure.
And I believe all behaviors are belief driven.
Yeah.
But that's not faking it because I'm actively working towards hitting a goal.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's beautiful.
So I'm like daily doing something and I'm telling myself I'm going to, lose 25 pounds. every day I'm going to Planet Fitness.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 3 times a week. So I'm actively living something, which is competence, which is creating a belief system in my mind. And with that being said, is if you lose 1 pound, once again, that's like a superpower. It's like eating spinach. Like, oh, great. I'm believing now. There's a belief system being created from me working out, losing 1 pound one day. Maybe I'll pivot back on, but the next week I lost 2 pounds. And you just kind of keep building.
Right,
is what
exactly.
I believe. Because I think the whole fake it till you make it. I think we live in that society now. Like,
but I like what you're. I mean, you're really playing with like the semantics of the word because you're saying there is no fake it. If you're going through the motions, what you really are doing is embodying it. What you're saying is embody it till you make it. Right.
Right.
There's a lot of there's a lot of research in neuroscience about just going through the motions and how that does literally just rewire your brain to start acting in a different way. And I think also once you start, like you said, even if it's small goals, what you develop is a sense of self-trust, you know? And that's when you can really start being like, oh yeah, I believe myself when I say I'm going to do something.
Right.
And that's when you start, that's where self-confidence really comes from. Because you're like, you know, a lot of times, like, which is why I really like when you say like, there is no fake it till you make it, because the fake it implies bullshit. Right? And what we're really trying to tell ourselves is like, no, this isn't bullshit. This is the embodiment of my new version. This is me 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Right?
Right.
So, which is so interesting. That's why I love the conversation about like language, you know, and the epistemology of words. Because, you know, our language across the world, no matter what language you speak, it dictates our psychology, right? The way we speak, the words we have for certain things, it dictates our psychology. And so, yeah, again, that's another rabbit hole we could go down, you know.
The life coach comes out of like, this is
That's a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, but
I love it.
Like, having social confidence is a whole nother animal. That you could be the most competent person in the room, but still not have social skills because you lack, I don't know, interpersonal skills. So that's where I think faking it, pretending that, you know, I'm a ladies' man, I'm charismatic, can be highly beneficial.
It is.
Just because it's something that people have naturally, and even if you are confident in your ability to execute, you know, your fitness goals or execute your professional goals, that might not translate to, you know, I can go approach that person in the wild.
Well, we're talking about women. That's a different conversation. Now. So we're moving out from. I'm talking about now the women. So this is interesting because.
Yeah, talk about it. I'm happy to talk about it.
I mean, I think, you know, with women faking it till you make it, I don't prescribe to that. I don't. I think women, especially today.
Well, you're not really a pickup artist.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not a really.
I love it. Pickup artist. That's the silliest thing. That's the silliest term you could use.
Yeah, he. I'm not.
Wait, you.
Well, no. Let me say that. No, I'm not today. So he's mean a reformed, different person.
Sure, I could see that.
I used to be.
When he needs to be, I've seen it.
So
in
like I've used to be at the end of the day, right? So.
Yeah.
I just think we're in different stages in life.
For sure.
But I still don't prescribe to fake and tell. Yeah, you can't. For me, tell myself I'm a ladies' man, or women love me, or I can get every. I don't think that works. I just don't. I have friends that.
Well, he's also 6'5", played professional basketball.
But see,
Beautiful man,
extremely
gorgeous.
handsome.
Yeah.
The rest of us guys need to figure something out together.
This is crazy. So no, but
He's like, I don't need the extra help, loser.
I was like,
Loser.
no.
I
So
don't need to tell myself
That's
women like
hilarious.
me. I
People
can tell
don't-
because every girl here is staring at me.
Unmissable motherfucker.
this is the nicest thing he's ever said. See this because we have a lady here.
I'm
you're
bringing
being
it out
nicer.
of Sam.
What do you mean? This is I tell
You
you this
don't.
every
No,
day.
you don't.
I tell you this
Stop
every
lying.
day.
This guy come anyway. We can go down another road.
Sam, how do you say your last name?
Führer.
That's what I thought, dude. Führer. And I was trying to give your last name the benefit of the doubt. I was trying to say Führer, but it's
Do you know he's?
the Führer.
You think she knows? You think she knows that you're?
What is that a?
That
Fake
I'm
last name?
I'm Jewish with the last name Führer.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting.
I thought it was unique when I met him. I was like, wow, seriously, like that's a unique last name.
Yeah, we went to Nuremberg once, and at the airport they were like, Führer.
This sounds familiar.
We had the Führer once.
he was bad for the party, actually.
So, Desi, tell me this.
Not well.
Do you feel that you're famous?
Bro, that's actually such a beautiful question. Last night I did feel a bit like a local celebrity. But you know what the thing is? Because I actually, as committed as I am to the comedy, right now I'm more committed to school. And so I'm not always there. I show up, I pop up once in a while, and it's also I leave early too. You know, I don't ever overstay. Okay. So it's kind of like, who's that girl?
What made you feel like you're famous, though?
Last night I was getting an insane amount of attention. Just,
what does attention look like for you?
Oh my God, just like, where have you been? I'm like, this is so funny. You're even like when he was calling me up on stage, he was like, the best audience member we've had tonight, right? There was something about the way I was being last night in my complete authenticity.
Okay.
I was just hanging out.
Okay.
That was calling a lot of verbal and vocal accolades my way. Now, here's the thing. I'll tell you a very profound thing that I love, that I actually heard Dave Chappelle say. You can't take the good or the bad. If you're not going to look at the haters, then you can't take the lovers either. That's where you lose. That's where, speaking of ego or speaking of illusion, that's when you as an orator, okay, as a speaker, that's where you lose the grip a little bit. You can't feel famous, but you also can't feel like a loser. You have to be a sort of fleeting guiding light.
Got it.
And just keep moving through regardless of what the feedback is. And just have faith that like the pollen that you spew will land in the flowers that it needs to.
What's your definition of being famous?
Bruh, just mad attention all day, dude.
You're honest. This is why he's really like, you guys are a mirror.
Dude.
You're just more honest.
That's what's up.
Like,
You think I want attention all day?
Stop, man.
Who doesn't?
You really like, you guys are like, you know this, right? There's a real
Kindred soul.
Hilarious, yeah.
Spirit.
Brother and sister over
Yeah.
here.
So in this stage of life, what do you like just maniacally focus on achieving?
So at first, this barber thing was super out of left fucking field. I was really intimidated, you know? And I even went to say to my teacher, like, maybe I should just become a cosmetologist. What am I doing in man world? And he was like, it's literally the same exact program, except the Cosmo girls learn how to do like fucking nails and facials and shit. So you're going to learn the exact same shit.
Okay.
Except for shaving, right?
Okay.
Like straight razor shaving.
Have you ever gotten a shave?
Have you ever gotten a shave? You have?
Yeah, for sure.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Okay.
Super relaxing.
Have you?
I've never gotten one.
Right. It's not that common.
I've actually,
It's not.
It looks
I only
like,
had it one
it
time,
looks
though.
like
Yeah.
it feels so good.
Yeah, it's when I had a goatee and they did all. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did this little.
A towel.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's highly technical. There's 18 different sections of the face.
Does it feel good?
Oh,
It felt like
yeah, it felt pretty.
It can.
Even under here too. So if you have any bumps or anything, Sam, like, it's phenomenal. You should do it.
I will.
Yeah, it can. I've never shaved a man's face. I've yet to do that.
Okay.
To take
Have
a
you
straight
ever
razor to the
shaved a
face. Yeah.
man's
I mean, no, I shaved. yeah, exactly. I have taken a straight razor to somebody's balls, though, but that's a different story.
Right. So tell us. So what does
kidding.
it look like next 3 to 5 years for you?
Bro, I really just think.
Is this a job interview?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Set up that position.
I want to see the vision, for the next 3 to 5.
I really think that I'm in the exact place I need to be in. Specifically because when I sit with people, like we had this event for the foster kids the other day, and I'm sitting with people in my chair, and these people are telling me their life story. What they want is to be there with me. And so I want to get really fucking good at being a barber. I want the talent to be undeniable. Be so good they can't miss you. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, we don't need to go for any of the extra value add. We just go because she's really fucking good at the craft. But then I just really want to bring I want to be able to do all of the things that I can do in conversation, bring all the healing modalities, bring all that pure love and light, and I want to mold those two things together. I want to call it the Rogue Vogue.
The Rogue Vogue.
The Rogue Vogue.
The Rogue Vogue.
The Rug Vogue.
The Rogue, like rebel.
Rogue.
Rogue.
You have your own
Vogue.
shop?
Have my own shop.
Here in West Palm?
Everywhere. I just want to be like on the road.
Chain.
I want to be on the road with that shit. I want to be on the road with that shit, bro. But I want it to be really specifically like, I want the aesthetic to be minimalist, black, everything black. I want all of my, I want the clippers. I mean, I've been dude, I'm so like turned on now by all of this barber stuff. I want like the clippers and the shears and everything to just be beautiful, pure, black, sophisticated. I really want to embody that sort of like, bro, like if I was like an old school, like, sage, mage, witch healer, groomer of the men.
Does that mean you're going to stop comedy?
Never.
So you're gonna do that on
If
the
I
side.
stopped comedy, you're all fucked.
Okay.
Okay. If I stop comedy, everyone starts,
World
you know.
stops spinning.
So you're gonna do that on the side while.
Dude, comedy is my
Robo.
therapy. It is literally my catharsis.
Okay.
Yeah, I do it to like go blow a load. Like truly, that's how I feel. That's how I feel, bro. That's how I feel.
Oh God, man.
That's how I
Sam, you have any
feel.
more questions?
Well, I mean, if we're gonna see Abby,
Oh yeah, we gotta go to Abby's mic. I'm not gonna make it, but you guys.
Abby's got a mic right around the corner.
Okay.
Desiree,
Sam.
this was amazing.
Likewise.
Desi,
Thank you,
Desi.
gentlemen, for
Thanks
having
for
me.
coming. Thanks for coming, hanging
It was
out.
my pleasure.
talking to us.
great conversation.
Good conversation.
Yeah.
We
Hell
got some
yeah.
good clips out of this. This was
sure.
fun.
I'm so excited to see.
Yeah.
You guys are sweet.
Until next time,
Till
ladies
next
and
time.
Till next
gentlemen,
time.
this was We're Not Famous with Sam and
Jernavis.
Jernavis.